rich people like to live in the USA? Our first guess would probably be somewhere in Silicon Valley, California, where millionaires and billionaires have gotten rich off either creating technology or investing in technology. Or what about New York's Manhattan or Brooklyn, that are said to have some of the most expensive real estate in the country? In fact, according to recent data, neighborhoods in California and the New York tri-state area have most of the richest zip codes, but not the most. Thanks to Bloomberg, which used IRS data to figure out where the rich areas are, number 10, San Francisco, California, 94111. The average gross adjusted income here is $776,400, which should be more than enough for most people. According to zipcodes.com, there are 3,831 people living there, most of whom are white, followed by Asian. The median age is 51. If you look at a map of this area, it comprises the financial district and the eastern seafront or the Embarcadero. We went apartment hunting here and found a 2-bedroom apartment for rent on Davis Street going for the princely sum of $5,595 per month, which is way out of the price range for most Americans. Number 9. Weston, Massachusetts 02493. This is a small town with a population of just 11,389, but you gotta have some serious money if you want to mingle among the high society that resides there. The median cost of a house is $2 million, and you'll find private streets and cops patrolling these cash-spangled neighborhoods around the clock. 90.26% of the population is white, and Bloomberg tells us the average gross income here is $860,000. If you like sports, you may just bump into some of Boston's baseball, basketball, or ice hockey stars here. It looks like the kind of place where you join a country club and perhaps wrap a sweater around your shoulders. Looking at realtor websites, many of the houses are palatial and will set you back millions of dollars. We'd be surprised if the police would even allow riffraff like us into this town. Number 8. Kenilworth, Illinois 60043. This is an even smaller town that no doubt doesn't have any poor parts. The latest consensus said that 2,513 people lived in Kenilworth, and according to Bloomberg, the average wage is $861,000. 97.4% of these folks are white, and judging by pictures of the manicured lawns and pleasant tree-lined streets, they don't have a big problem with crime. In fact, crime statistics tell us that Kenilworth is 95% safer than all other American cities. Looking at one report on yearly crime, there were 11 thefts, so that kept the cops busy that year. Bargain basement properties are in the range of $800,000, but if you want to compete with the rich neighbors, you'll have to spend a few million. Number 7. Los Angeles, California 90067. The first things you'll likely see from looking at the map are movie studios, such as Fox Searchlight Pictures and the famous Beverly Hills High School. Not far away is the Los Angeles Country Club. Within the area code is the Avenue of the Stars, and you can get a 2-bedroom apartment there for just $1.6 million. According to Bloomberg, that is affordable as the average income there is $905,700. Number 6. Gladwine, Pennsylvania 19035. This is another small town where the wealthy are ensconced far from the hustle and bustle of the average American city. According to the most recent consensus, 4,071 people live there, and 97.22% of those people are white, with a sprinkling of Asians and African Americans making up the rest of the neighborhood. The average wage is $957,200, and looking at properties, the vast majority on one realtor site were over $1 million. But a few bargains were available just below that amount. If you move there and keep hearing things go bump in the night, don't worry. It's not a ghost, it's just M. Night Shyamalan getting up to his old tricks. Well, one source says he lives there, and another says he lives in Willistown Township, not too far away. Number 5. Harrison, New York 10577. Harrison is a small town in New York about 22 miles away from Manhattan. It has a population of 27,472, although the 10577 area code only covers a small part of Harrison. Looking on the map, this is a small area that contains, well, not very much. There is a small hamlet known as Purchase there, which is home to 5,391 people. You'll also find Manhattanville College among the greenery. The average wage is $976,200. Purchase looks like the perfect little town, and the word hamlet certainly fits. In 2017, the New York Times called Purchase a celebrity sanctum with wide open spaces. The article stated that the median house price for a single family was $1.9 million. It also described Purchase as one big country club. Number 4. Palo Alto, California 94301. You probably knew this was coming. For those of you that don't know, Palo Alto is part of the area known as Silicon Valley. It's here where geeks think big in their garages and end up owning a good portion of the world's wealth. Stanford University is just outside of this area code, while inside you've got a zoo and a museum as well as Palo Alto High School. The whole of Palo Alto is home to around 64,403 people, but there are 4 area codes here. It's a mixed bag of ethnicities, but white and Asian are the most predominant. Too many famous people, actors, tech business people, musicians, etc. live here to mention them all. The average wage is said to be $1,175,400, and houses, some of which look quite ordinary, are currently on the market from $1 to $3 million. If you want something special, you are looking at over $10 million. Number 3. Palm Beach, Florida 33480. 10,468 people are said to live in this coastal area, although tourists and part-time dwellers push up that number at certain times of the year. In fact, many languages are spoken here because so many foreigners make this place, once voted the best place to live in America, their home. They must enjoy the tropical climate or just rubbing up against the many rich and famous people that live there. We should also add that on the day we wrote this piece, the headlines in the paper read, 1 dead, 3 wounded in West Palm Beach shooting. So perhaps it's not quite as safe as the other places on this list. Some very rich people must live in this neighborhood, as one house we found on the market right now is going for $59 million. The average wage is $1,254,500. Number 2. Atherton, California 94027. Just outside of Palo Alto, this is another part of what we call Silicon Valley, and it's a small town of just over 7,000 people in San Mateo County. Known as the Greenwich of Silicon Valley, you'll find some of tech's most well-known names from companies like Google and Facebook living there. Bloomberg tells us that the average income in this area code is $1,496,500. It's mostly white, but Native Americans make up 13% of the population. Houses are astronomically expensive, with the cheapies going for $5 million and many listings featuring abodes for over $20 million. According to the most recent crime stats over 1 year, there was 1 rape, no murders, 1 robbery, and 1 assault, which is similar to the crime stats belonging to 1 house alone in some parts of the US. We did hear through the grapevine, however, that a floppy disk went missing in Atherton in 1994. Number 1, Miami Beach, Florida 33109. Okay, so this isn't anything like the other places, as you can only get to it by boat, helicopter, or water taxi. It's called Fisher Island, and it's reported that the average wage there is a massive $2.5 million. It used to be home to 1 family alone, the Vanderbilts, but now is home to quite a few rich people. Well, not too many, as only 132 people live there. Famous folks who have lived there include Oprah Winfrey, Andre Agassi, and Boris Becker. No doubt the tennis courts on Fisher Island aren't too bad. Most of the properties there right now for sale are condo units, going for anything from $1.5 million to $20 million. We found one nice looking 5-bedroom house with a pool overlooking the ocean, and that was $17 million, but some houses were as low as $5 million, so there's hope for all you guys yet. Most of us will never be able to afford